Thank you very much for the nice introduction. Let me just quickly share my screen now, make sure this works. There we go. We should see my presentation screen. There we go. So yes, my name is Wayne Finley. I'm the Publicity Chair in Korea TESOL. I do teacher training. I'm the coordinator for KTT, Korea TESOL Teacher Training. And much more important than that, for today's topic, I'm really interested in building on-demand video courses. It's a new passion of mine. I've been working on video skills for the past maybe 4 years now, 3 to 4 years. But I started making video courses 2 years ago. So let me just click play here. So for example, you can see my OPIC speaking course, which I put a lot of work into, and my 21st century skills course, where I covered the 4 C's. It was a little bit of an experiment, didn't know how it would work, if it would be popular or successful, but I'm very happy to say I've had a decent amount of success making successful on-demand video courses. So there's a question I want to open with now, and it's this question here. Why make video courses? Why is it beneficial? Why is it good for your career? Why should you invest all this time developing the skills, working and learning how to build these video courses? What are the benefits? Let me just share a few of them with you now. The first one, the most obvious one, is money, of course. A lot of people get involved in making YouTube channels, making video courses, because they want some extra income. Maybe their teaching job doesn't quite pay as much as they would like, unfortunately. And video courses can be a great way to supplement your income. Maybe it gives you some extra coffee money each month, maybe dinner money. In some cases, it might even double your salary. And if you do very, very well, maybe you never have to teach in a face-to-face class again. So money is a big motivation for a lot of people, whether we like it or not. Maybe not as fun as you see in this video, but I think making video courses can be a lot of fun. Most teachers I know love the creative aspect of teaching, course design, making materials, the delivery of your own materials, not just relying on a textbook or a syllabus that your employer has given you. So there's a lot of fun because there's a lot of freedom in making video courses. So that's a really big draw for me. Video courses are the future. I used to say this a lot before I started making video courses, before I knew how to make them, that I felt like videos felt like the future. It's the way teaching is going. I said that maybe 2018. And the good news is it's still the future. You're not too late to make video courses if that is something you really want to do. They keep growing in popularity. Every week I get a message, usually on LinkedIn, from different startup video platform companies saying, hey, make video courses for us. We'll give you this amount of commission. So it's not too late to get involved. You haven't missed the boat. Another big aspect for me is there's no one like this man here telling you, no, you can't make your video course. They don't like the idea. They don't like your structure. They don't like your materials. Making a video course, especially on platforms like Udemy, which are open to everybody, means if you have a good idea, you have a vision, you have a dream, you can bring it into reality. You're not relying on a gatekeeper to approve your ideas, which can happen in our regular teaching jobs. Video courses, like YouTube, are completely open to you. If you have a good idea, you'll reap the rewards. Also, what I really like about making video courses is the reach that you can have around the world, the global reach. So I just took a screenshot from my Udemy profile when I looked in the statistics, the analytics, and this is mine at the moment. So you can see I have students from 161 countries who speak 45 different languages. That definitely feels like international teaching to me. If I just stay teaching here in Korea in my bricks and mortar classroom, then there's no way I'll be able to teach this many students. I'm sure this is several times more than I've ever taught in face-to-face classrooms. Udemy, for example, you see here, Not so big in Korea unless you teach in Korean language, which I don't. I teach in English. But for most countries, a lot of other countries, it is very big. So at the last count, I had 38,368 students, which feels amazing to me, and also 44,151 enrollments. That means some students are doing more than one of my courses. So right now I have two courses on Udemy. So this is something that everybody can achieve, I think. But first, to achieve that, you need to really understand how to make courses. So let's jump into that now. First, let's talk about the equipment. That might be something that puts you off a little bit, but I think everybody can easily get the equipment. I'm not a millionaire. I didn't have to invest millions to make video courses. Everybody has what you can see in this clip here. So this is what it looks like if you record through a smartphone. This is an iPhone XR, and I'm recording the sound through the iPhone and the picture. For a lot of video instructors, they're more than happy just to use their smartphones, and YouTubers as well. But you might want to invest in a dedicated smartphone microphone. Yes, I recorded that a few days ago using my smartphone that I carry around in my pocket every day. And for most video instructors, I said, that works fine, no problem using your smartphone. The image is clear. And if the smartphone is close enough, like it was here mounted on my tripod, using one of those smartphone holders, the sound can also be good enough. This would definitely pass Udemy quality assessment controls. So you already probably have the equipment in your pocket. Most people use smartphones or use their computers, do Zoom style recordings. So you don't need to invest in a lot of money. However, if you do want to invest money in equipment, it can give you an edge over the competition. So let me show you what my camera looks like that I use for my video courses and pretty much all the video content I record these days, including when I do it with TESOL. This I got on a special offer in Electromart, a big supermarket chain near my apartment. This is the Canon EOS 800D. I think in total it cost around 600,000 won, around $600 US. And it has been brilliant for me, and I have no plans to replace it at all. My camera is an example of what we call a DSLR camera. I won't go into the technical details, but it really means it captures sharp quality images, and you don't have to worry about the lighting so much. Lighting can really wreak havoc with your video courses if you don't set it up correctly. But if you have a DSLR camera, can make life a lot easier. We can see here lots of different cameras. You can easily buy them through websites in Korea like Coupang, Gmarket, or just go to your local electronics outlet. A newer style camera that is also growing and increasing in popularity are mirrorless cameras, very similar to DSLR cameras. If I was buying a camera now, I would buy a mirrorless camera just because it feels a little bit more modern. But DSLR mirrorless, you can't really go wrong. You might also consider a camcorder. The difference between a camcorder and the other two cameras is a camcorder doesn't really have a time limit. A DSLR camera, a mirrorless camera, has a time limit of usually 30 minutes. So if you wanted to record a 1-hour lecture, you're going to have to run to your DSLR camera and quickly press record again, unless you can really hack the settings a little bit. With a camcorder, it will pretty much record as long as you have memory in the memory card on the camera. So a camcorder can be good. But to get a high quality image with a camcorder, I think you're talking probably 2 to 3 times more money than you would spend on a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. The picture quality is important, but I think the most important factor in the production values is the sound quality. When I look at Udemy reviews, not on my courses, but on some other courses, particularly ones that get lower ratings, it's not usually the picture quality that people complain about, it's the sound quality. People will forgive you for a low resolution image. Udemy actually only has a maximum resolution of 1080p HD, and the default is 720p. You actually have to request to them, make a request, send an email so that they would activate 1080p. The sound, though, is where people don't usually forgive you. So it is a good idea to invest in a high quality microphone if you're going to spend money on it. This is an example of my microphone here that is mounted on the top of my DSLR camera. This is what we call a shotgun microphone.
This is what it sounds like through my shotgun microphone.
So a little bit clearer there, the audio quality. And shotgun microphones don't have to be expensive. If you buy a high-end one, it would be, but you can buy cheaper ones here. Most of them you mount on a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, even a camcorder, you can. You can also buy ones to connect to your smartphone. So you could still record the image for the smartphone, but get higher quality audio. What I recommend for indoor recordings, so for example, I record my videos, video courses inside my apartment in a small room. There's echo, there's the Korean style wooden floors. I don't have carpeting, the curtains don't do enough. So I highly recommend this kind of microphone if you are recording in a small room indoors, especially with wooden floors. If you're outside or you're in a big room, maybe not such a problem. This is what we call a lapel microphone. This is mine, the Tascam DR10L. This was the best budget one I found. It records the sound directly into the memory card. It's wireless, but I cannot listen to the sound in real time. So if there are any errors, then I don't find out until after I have finished the recording. But if you configure the settings well enough, you won't run into those issues.
This is what it sounds like through my lapel microphone.
Probably difficult to hear through Zoom here, but the sound quality is better. You can't really hear any background noise. It does a really good job. Also great if you're planning to move around in your videos. That can really work well. How much are lapel microphones? As you see here, very cheap. Some of them you can plug straight into your smartphone. The first one I ever bought, I did plug into my iPhone 6, and then I couldn't use it when that broke, and I upgraded to my iPhone XR. But you can also buy the ones that come with the recording device, the memory card. You might also consider a green screen, or as we also call a chroma key background. I'll show you later what you can do with a green screen, but it can give you that competitive edge in your video courses. Green screens, when I first thought about buying one, I thought, wow, it would be so expensive. Usually you think green screen, Steven Spielberg, CGI, millions of dollars, Jurassic Park. That's not the case at all. Green screen is actually very cheap. The material is very cheap. What costs a little bit more is the stand that you put your green screen on. You can see here, just on Coupang, ones that you can just put behind your chair, like if you just wanted to use for your Zoom classes, and then the ones that you can stand up. You see, not too expensive. I think with the stand and the material, the actual green screen, it cost maybe about 100,000 won, $100 for me. But if you're using a green screen, you'll probably need good lighting. Lighting, as I said, with the DSLR, the mirrorless cameras, is more forgiving with those high quality cameras. When I first tried to make videos with my lower quality digital camera, lighting had to be perfect or it would have huge problems on the image. It would be too dark. The green screen wouldn't quite work properly. The lights that a lot of people use are called softbox lights. Softbox means it gives you soft light that looks natural, doesn't look artificial. So a lot of YouTubers use this, not just with green screens, just in natural recording environments, and it gives them an even tone on their face there. There's an example of my two. I've had them for a few years now. They still work perfectly, but one is a little bit beaten up, and I should probably get a replacement. But the lighting still comes through, so I'm not too worried about it. Softboxes, again, sound expensive. We think photo studios, but no, actually not that expensive. We can see here, you can usually buy a package, 2 softbox lights, again, 100,000 won, maybe a little bit more, depending on the light that you want, the quality. And you can even buy those packages that include the green screen and the stand. You would pretty much have a studio immediately delivered to your apartment. And that's what I did. What about the equipment for post-production, for video editing? Do you need a supercomputer? Well, not really. There's an example of the editing I was doing for this presentation. A lot of people start with Apple computers in video editing. Maybe 8 years ago, I used to look down on Apple computers, thinking it's just about the brand. It's Nike, it's McDonald's, it's not better than any other computer. I changed my mind when I got interested in video editing because Apple computers come with a lot of free video editing software, which I'll mention later. And they are pretty much tailor-made for video editing, those professional users. That's how they market themselves. So you can't really go wrong with an Apple computer, a MacBook. But the problem here, if like me, you are not a rich person, they can be very expensive. That's a pretty big investment. So what did I do? I got the same thing, actually even more powerful than MacBook, but without the screen, without the mouse, without the keyboard. I bought a Mac Mini, and it has worked perfectly for me. Right now I'm using a Mac Mini, and I use it for all my video editing. The base one is expensive, but in the long run, if you plan to make some income off video courses, could be a great investment. So Mac Minis are a way for you to video edit at home without having to buy a big, expensive Mac computer, a big MacBook. iPads also do very good with video editing now, especially the iPad Pro. A few years ago, definitely wouldn't recommend it. The software wasn't great. It wasn't easy to put your videos, your images into the iPad Pro. Now that has changed. You can use USBs, you can connect memory cards, and also the software isn't too bad. A little bit expensive, but if you are moving around a lot, commuting, etc., can be a good investment. The best software on the iPad is definitely LumaFusion, in my opinion. I haven't used it in 18 months because I've been at home all the time because of the pandemic. But when I was using it 18 months ago, I was able to do almost everything in this app, which only cost, I think, $10, $20, that I was doing on my very powerful Mac Mini computer. So it's a great option. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't use Windows computers. If you want to save some money, you can customize a computer, get a Windows computer. There's lots of options and also lots of software that I'll mention a little bit later. How about the course structure for your video course? How should you structure it? That's a big question. First, let's talk about length. How long should a video course be? Well, there's mine. I don't want to boast very much, but my OPIC course there is considered the top-rated English language course on Udemy, which I'm very happy. I think the formula is worked out with number of enrollments and the ratings. So mine there is 5.5 hours. The second most popular or top-rated one is 3 hours by Luke Pretty. 5 hours. Then we have 8 hours, a little bit longer. And then actually we have the bestseller. So based on total number of enrollments, let's take a look. David Morris, 44.5 hours. So you can see there are some variations in time. So it can be to your benefit to design almost a whole semester of videos there because students will probably be more attracted to it. Wow, I get such a great deal, 45 hours of video content for the same price as other people have 3 hours. But you see, it doesn't have to be that long. In fact, in my research, most courses are around 5 hours. My courses, I always aim for 5.5 hours now because that is a good average from what I can tell. But how about how long the individual videos in the course, not just the total length of the course? Let's take a look here at my OPIC course. You can see in the first section, introduction, I have a video less than 3 minutes, a video less than 5 minutes. In the next section, I think my maximum video there is just under 10 minutes. 8 minutes looks like 4 or 5 minutes, 6 minutes. We see there the maximum is just under 8 minutes. So you can, or just under 10 minutes. So you can see that the videos I make are short form content, YouTube style videos, because I think on-demand learners don't want to sit down for 1 hour. They want to watch and engage with the content very quickly, and then maybe move on to something else if they lose interest, lose concentration, or somebody calls them. It is not like recording videos for our university classes. I have to record 30-minute videos. I definitely don't do that with my on-demand video courses on public platforms. Another example, the second one, just to show you, the maximum there, I think, is just under 20 minutes. And then we see 6 minutes, just under 18 minutes, just under 14 minutes, the maximum. But since I have the top rated one, I think I can safely say I would aim for a little bit less, maybe 10 minutes maximum. Leveling, you have to get right in any course, but especially in a video course. Students will complain very quickly if the leveling is incorrect. There's a natural tendency for new video instructors to put all levels, even though they know it would be too difficult for beginner level, because they want all students to enroll, they want to make more money. But in the long run, I think that's not a good idea. It will affect your ratings, it will affect maybe future courses that you are promoting. So be honest. My OPIC course, for example, I knew it wouldn't be good for beginners, so I put intermediate, and almost no student has complained about the difficulty in the course. In a video course, you also need to use communication skills. In our face-to-face classes, communication skills are really important. If you want to get higher student evaluations, possibly get a promotion, communication skills go a long way in every area of work. But it's especially true in video content where it feels like everything is amplified. Let me show you an example from my course.
Tone is important in all of our answers in the OPIC test, but it's not more important than when you are complaining. You need to show a change in your tone. If we see this man, he had the same problem that I had when I first became the teacher. He has a monotone. Monotone we never want to use. Never, ever, ever use a monotone unless you want to make people bored and you want to make them fall asleep. Monotone is when you are speaking with the same tone the entire time.
Yes, that's an example that I was showing my on-demand students in my OPIC course, because when you do an English speaking exam, it does help to change your tone. That's something that can influence an OPIC result, I believe, but it will affect your result in your video course evaluations. You have to consider it a form of entertainment. We don't like to think about that as educators, edutainers. No, we just want to help people learn. But unfortunately, whether we like it or not, there is a degree of entertainment involved in making video courses. And I have noticed the video instructors with the better communication skills do seem to get higher evaluations and more enrollments. How about building rapport? We consider this to be very intuitive in our face-to-face classes. It feels very easy after a while. You get to know, you learn their names, you get to know them, you ask about their weekends, you joke around a little bit. In an on-demand course where you never speak to them live, how do you build rapport? Well, one tip I will give you, in my opinion. So I've edited this video. This is not from my course. I edited it to show you what I think you shouldn't be doing. So forget the materials, forget that aspect, but I've put myself in the corner. Like now I'm speaking to you on Zoom. I think in an on-demand video course, you cannot always be in that corner like a postage stamp, because I think it creates a distance between you and the person who's enjoying the video. You'll see that in YouTube videos. Do you see YouTubers talking in the corner? Very rarely, because they know it doesn't connect with the audience as well. Let me show you what I think you should
do. For the past 5 years, and this is the first time I have been really unhappy with the food. Usually the food is excellent, and I have sent my compliments to the chef, but this time, I don't know what they were thinking.
So you see, I, like a YouTube channel, like a TV show, I cut back and forth between, let's say, the PPT, the video, the image that I'm displaying, and back to me. So it feels like I am there with the students. I'm not to the side, creating a distance. So I highly recommend you cut back and forth. That's what I've noticed the most successful on-demand video teachers do. I do that with my university classes as well. I do live Zoom classes and on-demand videos in my on-demand videos, I definitely cut back and forth, don't just stay in the corner. Let's talk about course design now. Of course, you must make sure everything is planned out before you do any designing. So my very first video course on the 21st century skills, this was the plan I laid out for myself. And then I started researching and creating all the materials that I needed for my course before I did any filming. You can't just point and shoot and wing it. You have to prepare everything, in my opinion. It makes for a much smoother experience. So you see here, I prepared all the text I needed, anything I needed to remember, all the images I would be displaying on the screen. So I wasn't leaving anything until the day of filming. Same with my OPIC course, even more so here. I wanted a very unified design. So every single aspect of this course looked like it was connected to the previous part of the course. Also, you should consider, if you're using green screen, how will you make the most of green screen? Here's an example.
What's that? Oh no, what is that? What is that noise? I can hear, I think our ship is sinking. We're in big trouble. Oh, we have some toilet paper. That could come in handy. Oh, we have a rifle. It's time to go. The boat is almost completely sunk.
You can see there my rudimentary video editing skills. That was 18 months ago I recorded that and didn't edit it until maybe 15 months ago. I had no idea how to bring a water effect in, so I just added in this clip of water at the bottom. So it's not perfect video editing, but I think it does make for a more engaging experience, more fun for the students. Green screen, it helps immerse students in the content. It shouldn't be a static background, some nice, I don't know, clouds in the background all the time. Use it to put the students in a place. So I'm demonstrating here one of those desert island activities. I think I was talking about critical thinking, creative thinking. So I went ahead and demoed the activity for the students. And with green screen, that can really help.
I'm up to my waist in water. It's time to get out of here. Get those items in the backpack and let's go. Oh, you hear a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You are sharing the island with a dinosaur. So much for paradise. I want to go home.
So you saw there, all the aspects of demoing that activity was perfect for the desert island. I had the shipwreck, even the island, and then I'm at the end of that part on the island. So use green screen to your benefit. I haven't used these yet. I've used them in some YouTube videos, but I will in future video courses. I see these advertised in my Facebook feed every day. I don't know why. Maybe it's the algorithm. I call these Toon apps. They look a little bit complicated if you've never used them before, but if you just download one, even a trial version, wow, so easy to make these kinds of videos. You could probably learn in a day how to make them. Lots of templates. The images are included in a database. The transitions are very easy to create. So you can consider using Toon apps. Powtoon is a very popular one. I also like what are called Whiteboard Explainers. You've probably seen these. These can be very popular on YouTube. So where you see a hand drawing, it looks almost like a real person's doing it. And actually, when I showed my video to somebody, the first one I ever made in this style, my coworker thought it was actually my hand. He was very surprised when I told him, no, I don't have those artistic talents. But you can see here, it makes it very engaging. And just like with the Toon apps, very intuitive, very easy to use. I thought it would be complicated. I downloaded it. This one is called Video Scribe. You have to pay for it. But wow, it was very quick to pick this up. And you can very quickly create high quality teaching videos for your course. Or for
what did you say? Did you say something? Listening skills are equally important to the other three communication skills. But how do we use listening in our classroom? What are some strategies for listening we can teach? What are some activities we can use for students to practice listening skills? Again, take 3 minutes and then we'll be back.
Sometimes as video instructors, we fall into the trap of thinking on-demand classes have no interaction, no time for students to do activities. That's completely wrong. Video courses are not YouTube videos. They're not TED Talks. You want to create interaction with the student. It's almost imaginary interaction. You give them the time to do an activity, and it feels like they're in the classroom as they're doing it, even though you're somewhere else doing something. So yeah, use these interactive activities. I think about my video courses as though they were face-to-face courses. So if I'm teaching a face-to-face course, what kind of interaction will I use? What kind of pair work and group work? And I try to build that into my video course. In video editing, you can easily add timers, for example. And I've never had a student complain. When I first tried it, I thought, I'm taking a big risk doing this. Maybe they just want lectures. I can tell you, after seeing thousands of reviews on my courses, not a single person has ever complained about these kinds of timed interactive
Take out
activities.
your smartphone, turn on the voice recorder, and get ready to speak for 60 seconds or up to 120 seconds. Your choice. You always have that choice, but at least in this video must be 60 seconds. If you want to do longer, always do longer. I will count down from 3, then press record and answer the question. 3, 2, 1.
That's an example of what I call practice activities. You'll see in a moment that, for example, on Udemy, this is how you're evaluated as a video instructor. Do you create enough activities for students to engage, practice the content? So I was teaching here my OPIC course, my speaking course, and I was thinking, how can I possibly teach speaking on demand? How is that possible? You can't learn it just watching videos. But then I remembered I taught OPIC courses in face-to-face, in physical classrooms, and I did the same thing. I would get students taking out their smartphones, recording time responses, listening back to their answers, giving them self-feedback. And so then, voila, I had an idea for my on-demand course, and I built it into every section of this course. And again, lots of good feedback from students.
Your current job with your previous job.
And there is the 60-second timer. Also, in most video platforms, there are other options. It's not just uploading the videos. So for example, you can upload quizzes as you would do with face-to-face classes, coding exercises, because a lot of video platforms have popular computer engineering classes. I don't use that. Practice tests. Also, if you want to create some midterms finals, I don't see why not, or unit tests, and even assignments. Some instructors, they give themselves an edge over the competition by having assignments. Students do them, and the instructor will actually take the time to grade their assignment. This can give you an edge because most video instructors will not do that. For example, I don't do that because I like this to be a passive experience for me once I've finished the course. But there are a lot of some video instructors who invest a lot of time into their courses, and they will even grade assignments, even though it's an on-demand video course. We see here, as I said, helpful practice activities are a big part of the student evaluation process on video platforms. Just a quick word on scripts. I mentioned this when I did a public speaking workshop a few weeks ago. I have written scripts for short form content, YouTube videos, like 5-minute videos, and it has taken me 1 or 2 hours to write what I thought was a good script for a 5-minute video. Imagine writing scripts for a 5.5-hour course or a 45-hour course. I think that would take way too long. It might result in good quality at the end, but that would take way too long. My advice for you is do it like a face-to-face class. You know the material, you know the content. And if you do make some big mistakes, use the video editing process, post-production, take them out then. Don't write scripts. That will take too long. The filming is pretty easy to say. Just make sure everything is ready before filming. That's the mistake I made with my first course. I realized when I started filming, I got about 75% of the way through, and I realized, oh, I'm not sure what I'm saying here. I don't have the images. I don't have the video clips for this part. And then I had to go back to my computer, do it, then go back to the camera. And that actually resulted in an eventual delay between starting my filming in the summer of 2019 and finishing in December 2019, because life then got in the way as well. So my advice, make sure everything is ready. You can do filming in just a few days. Some people do it in 1 day. I take probably a week to finish all my filming because with my personality, if I do too much recording in one day, after maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, I think you start to see it in the video. My eyes get a little bit tired. My voice probably not as interesting. But some people do film everything in one day. If you have got everything ready, then you could spend 6 hours one day and get everything done.
Testing.
As I said there, that's something I do all the time. Don't make a rookie mistake, which is you set up all your equipment, you start filming your course, and then 6 hours later, you put your memory card into your computer. Oh, the microphone didn't work. The lighting was off. The green screen's not working. My advice, always do a test video first. Take out that memory card, see what it looks like. This will prevent almost all problems. This is a problem I had when I first started making videos a few years ago. Yes, don't make that rookie mistake. Let's talk about video editing now, particularly the software. There's a lot of different options. As I said, Apple is the easiest one if you already have an Apple computer because there's a lot of built-in software. I started with iMovie, which comes free, I believe, with every Apple computer. You don't have to pay anything else. And it does almost everything you need, especially if you're just making simple videos. So you can see here, you can use a green screen. You can add different titles, transitions. You can insert lots of different content, videos, as you'll see in a moment, pictures as well. So iMovie does a lot of things well. If you have no experience with video editing, maybe it's a good idea to start with iMovie because it is very intuitive and you probably won't get too many things wrong. Like, for example, here, the images, you put one in there and you can see already, you can choose how to display the image. Popular one is the picture in picture. After you get more experience, or if you want to just make an investment, you can use the software I use nowadays, which is Final Cut Pro. Here's an example of a video I made for my previous presentation last Saturday to public school teachers in Gangnam. And although it looks very complicated, if you look, it feels like, oh my gosh, that would take so long, very difficult. Once you figure out video editing, it almost feels as fast as making a PPT, believe it or not. You can learn to do this very, very quickly. How much is Final Cut Pro? Unfortunately, as a professional app, Pro is the hint there, it does cost some money. So the easiest option if you are an educator is to use the education discount on the Apple Store. I believe the cheapest option is the Education Pro app bundle. This is how I got mine. And it's cheaper than buying Final Cut Pro individually. And it comes with a few different apps. Final Cut Pro is for videos, Logic Pro is for music, Motion is for creating nice transitions. The other two I have never used, Compressor and Mainstage, but they are included. How about if you're using a Windows computer? Well, I think the number one that I'm aware of is Adobe Premiere Pro. This is on Apple and on Windows. I've never used it. I'll be honest about that because I don't need to use it. I have Final Cut. But from what I can tell, it does everything Final Cut can do. And some people prefer it over Final Cut Pro. Another popular video editing app is DaVinci Resolve. Again, one I've never used. It sounds cool though. DaVinci sounds creative, but it is very popular. And I think this is probably the Windows equivalent of iMovie. For me, it looks quite simple just looking at the video tutorials. And I believe it's a cheaper option. Wondershare Filmora is also a solid video editing app. After you have finished the video editing, well, you're not even close to building your successful video course. Then you have to upload it. Most video platforms make that very easy. This is the Udemy upload section. You can actually upload in bulk. You drag all your videos in here, and then you wait a few hours depending on your internet connection speed. But usually for me, it uploads quite quickly. You can upload from different places. I upload from my computer. Once your files are uploaded, well, then if you haven't named them already, you'll have to rename them. You'll have to create your sections, your titles. But don't worry, this is almost like using Facebook. It's very, very simple. That's one of the beauties of Udemy, is it's about you. It's not very complicated. You upload your video, you upload your quizzes, and then you're pretty much ready to publish the course. Once your course is published, you really have to consider one of the most important aspects of making your course successful. Doesn't matter how high the quality is in your course. If people don't know about it, they won't buy it. And then, depending on your definition of success, if money's involved, you will not be successful. How do you market a video course? One thing I should just note there is I have seen some very high quality video courses on Udemy, and I've wondered, why are there only 5 students? And then I look and I realize it's because they got the marketing wrong. So don't get this wrong. This can go a long way. The course landing page is where you start with your marketing. First, create a solid title, eye-catching title that really defines your course. So for example, I have changed mine a few times to try and make it better. Teach English with 21st century skills, the 4 C's. I got the 2 content areas there, the 21st century skills, the 4 C's, teaching English, it's specific. Got a course subtitle as well, which uses the keywords that I want people to be looking for. And then your course description is not like a bricks and mortar course, a physical face-to-face course where it's just describing and students think, wow, that tells me what's going on. This is also a marketing document. So really let people know why they should choose your course, especially if you're choosing a category where there's a lot of competition. Why should they choose your course over other people's course? So it can feel a little bit arrogant. You're self-promoting. We sometimes look down on that in England, in my culture. But if you want to sell your course, you have to sell your course, and you do that by marketing. So you can see even an example at the bottom there. No other teacher training course on Udemy covers the 4 C's, which is true as far as I'm aware. Enroll now to learn 21st century skills. That's another tip I can give you. Try to choose topics that no one else has done, but you think would get students. That's what I always do with my courses. Try to choose a topic no one else has covered yet. Down here, then you have to choose the level, but also you cannot get this wrong, the categories. People, when they are looking for courses, they'll click on the category, and this is where your course will show up. Whether it's at the top of the search results or at the bottom will depend on your marketing. But you have to choose wisely. Udemy doesn't let you change these easily. They're set in stone once they are in there. So make it specific. Also choose an eye-catching course image. I've changed mine a few times, and sometimes I'll publish my course, see it's not doing as well as I would like, and then I think my course image is not working. I'm changing my course image. So the course image is important. One thing to note is Udemy does not let you put text on your course image, so it has to be very visual. Also, Udemy recommends promotional videos. For example, here in that description, they say students are 5 times more likely to enroll in a course with a promotional video and 10 times more likely for exceptionally awesome promotional videos. Let's take a look at one. Again, this is something you can experiment with after you publish your course to try and make it better. Here's the example from my 21st Century Skills course.
At the top, it was a very official letter, a very formal letter. It said, Mr. Finley is being warned that he is a boring teacher. And so I had to think very hard, very mirroring psychology. For the teacher, we take note. Meaning, what I want to do is class. 4 C's. Go out there and use them. Your students are waiting.
So my promotional video, this is not necessarily recommended advice. A lot of people do the selfie video, no, buy my course, the marketing speech. For me, I like to do the movie trailer style, show clips from my course, because I think that's more likely to get people to invest their time and money into the course if they already have an idea of what it will look like. You can also show preview videos on the course landing page. So that's something to explore. The pricing can also be used to market your course. You can choose a lower price if you think that would help. but the standard advice is choose the highest price you can without embarrassing yourself too much, because Udemy, for example, always has discounts, especially if you opt in, which most instructors do. And so it always looks like there's a 90% discount. 90% discount on a $150 course is better for marketing than 90% on a $20 course, or 20% on a $20 course, wouldn't be 90%. Also, a big aspect of the marketing is the promotions, they call it, or coupons. First, this referral code. Most platforms use a referral code. If you give this to your students or potential students and they enroll, you will get a higher percentage of the commission. So anytime you market your course, use that link. And use coupons. This can go a long way. This is, I think, what a lot of people don't realize when they release their courses. Use coupons. You can set different ones, the current best price, as you see here, a custom price between $12.99 and your maximum price. Free, if you just want to get a certain number of students in, you can do that very easily by offering it for free. And the free option is also useful for getting reviews. So you can send the free coupon code to people who you trust to probably give you a nice review, and they will do it without having to pay for the course. So that's also like a reviewer code, I think. Facebook groups is where you share your coupons. A lot of groups are dedicated to free coupons, but there's also courses dedicated to just coupons. So this is what I use quite a lot, coupon groups. And I'll go in here with my course, make sure people are aware of my course, and make them know they're getting a nice discount. Although in reality, the coupon doesn't usually give too much of a discount. So to wrap this up, really, what I want to say is everybody can make video courses. When I've looked at all the different video courses, the successful ones in particular, I've not seen anything special from a particular video instructor that says, wow, they have so much charisma. Wow, they're so talented. They're a genius. No, I think it's just people who have taken the time, like me and you, to develop their skills and create effective teacher training courses. And the big advantage we all have is that as teachers, this is our profession. A lot of people on Udemy maybe are not teachers, they're not educators, they don't know the principles of education, they don't necessarily know how to create engaging teaching content. You already have a huge advantage once you start making video courses. So the sky is the limit when it comes to video courses. Maybe you just make enough money to pay for your coffee every month, your dinner, double your salary, or never have to worry about teaching in a classroom again. So thank you very much. I've really enjoyed sharing my tips, my experience, my advice. I think we just have a few minutes left. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the Zoom chat. I'm going to open that now. Or you can ask me through the microphone. Or I can hand it over to Mark Love.
Thank you for a great talk. You basically told us how to set up. It looked like it cost about, what, 2 million, 3 million won for the basic equipment?
For my equipment, yeah. If it was just my smartphone, probably the investment would be a lot less. But for me, because I really wanted to produce high quality videos, not so much just to make successful courses, but just because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I want it to look as good as it can look. So that's why I made the investment. And just to quickly answer Justin McGivern's question, are you expected to do evaluations and grading? I briefly touched on that. The answer is no. This is a completely passive experience, so you don't have to worry about doing that. David Kent sent me a message, came as a direct message, maybe you can't see it. Why Udemy and not another platform? That's a good question. Most people start with Udemy because a lot of things are very easy to do. The uploading is very easy. It has a marketplace, so people go there and search for courses they want. Different platforms are not as well known, and they might not have a marketplace. You really have to do all your own marketing. Udemy can do that for you. Let me have a look at Jessamine. Jessamine asked about pay. As in my experience, I've been on Udemy for, I guess, 18 months now, and the policies for payment have stayed the same. It's pretty much commission. If they use the referral link, I can't quite remember, it's 40 or 50%. commission. But once you build that base, you get experience, you can move to platforms, which some people do, where you can get a lot more commission. Are there opportunities for students to engage with each with assignments? I guess you could do that, but I've not done that myself, and I'm not aware of anyone on Udemy doing it. It is an individual experience, a bit like watching a YouTube video, except without the comments, I guess. Justin sent me another message. Is your content evergreen, or are you expected to redo the video content every year or every 6 months? This is at your discretion. For me, I put a lot of time into developing the course. I might edit some things if I think I got some things wrong afterwards, though that hasn't happened so far. So I don't change anything except the course landing page, maybe the promotional video, the title. I keep my content the same. However, if you want to have that edge of the competition, you might want to put that as a perk in the landing page. I will upload a new video every month. That can give you an advantage. Websites and media for marketing. I think this will be the last question because we've just run out of time. The websites, media, Facebook is a big one. I've used Facebook ads. On your own social media platforms, LinkedIn, for example. But there are a lot of places. If you just type into Google, you can really find a lot of marketing strategies for Udemy or video courses. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.